Hello, everyone. Today's date is the 10th of April. This is kind of a historical date in Native history, in Indian history, in America. Because on this same day, but in the year 1883, so that's the 10th of April, 1883, America made a law that said all Native American Indian languages and ceremonies are illegal. At this time, in the late 1800s, the reservations were just starting and they were like prison camps at that time. So we were not allowed to have any kind of weapons or anything, not even knives. So we couldn't go hunting for food. We could not gather wild fruits and vegetables. And our bodies are used to these natural foods, these meat from wild game. For thousands of years, this is what we ate. So our bodies were very used to that. And so in the late 1800s, we're on reservations. And as I said, they were like prison camps and we couldn't leave. And the only food that we were allowed to have was whatever the American government gave to us. And it was really, really unhealthy foods, foods that are really high in the things that can make you have heart trouble, hypertension, diabetes, and so forth. And so this is what happened at that time. So we were hit physically. Now, in the Lakota way, there are four parts to the self: the physical part, the emotional part, the mental part, and the spiritual part. And they're all connected together. This is what the medicine wheel can represent. The medicine wheel can represent many things, but this is one of the things that it can represent too. And when you look at a medicine wheel, if one part of that medicine wheel goes down, the other three parts will eventually go down too. So, back on our reservations in the late 1800s, as I just stated, our physical part was really hit hard in a very unhealthy way, in that we were not allowed to eat the foods that our bodies were used to. So, if you look at the four parts of the self, the physical part was hit. Then, as I said, on the 10th of April, 1883, America said that all native languages and all native ceremonies are illegal. So now we're hit emotionally and spiritually. So this is now three of the four parts. We're hit physically, because we can't eat healthy foods. We're hit emotionally because we can't speak our language. And we are hit spiritually because we are not allowed to do our ceremonies. And all our medicine people and holy people were sent away to a mental asylum in Kenton, South Dakota. They were sent there to die. So that's what was happening at that time in the late 1800s on the reservation. So, all those years, it was against the law to basically be an Indian. You're not allowed to speak your own language. Imagine that. In American history books, they always say that America was founded upon the freedom of religion, but not for Indians. I find that crazy. So this is the way it was. But of course, people still did it, but in private. This is how our language survived. So, for example, people still spoke Lakota, but only at home, only among certain people, and not in public. And the ceremonies really went underground at that time. Then around the 1960s or so, the American government didn't seem to care, so people were doing the ceremonies in public and nobody got in trouble. And this is how it was until 1978. There was a new law that America made called the American Indian Religious Freedom Act of 1978. And this stated that all Indian languages and ceremonies are now legal. Now we can do this. So from 1883 until 1978, all native languages and ceremonies were against the law. Imagine that. For 95 years, it was against the law to be an Indian. It's crazy. That's American history. Yeah, so I just want to mention that because a lot of people don't realize that in this world, that this great country of America that likes to tout itself as the greatest country in the world, their history book is all candy-coated, and it makes it look like America was a hero to everything since 1776, when they declared their independence from England. And people don't realize that America did a lot of not good things to Native peoples. No treaty that America made with any Native American Indian tribe was ever kept. They were all broken. Sitting Bull used to say, America promised us many things, and they broke all of them except one. They promised to take our land, and they took it. Something to think about. So, if you didn't know about this, now you know. Now you can share this information with other people, because a lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, just imagine. From 1883 until 1978, it was illegal to speak any native language, and it was illegal to do any native ceremony. So all native languages and all native ceremonies were against the law for 95 years. Imagine living at that time, that suddenly on this day, 10th of April in 1883, that you are told you no longer can speak your language. Imagine that. Think about that right now. Put yourself in that time period. Or even right now, the language you speak right now, whatever language you speak. Just imagine that a law comes out saying you can no longer speak your native tongue, your mother tongue. You are no longer allowed to speak that language. And you have to learn a different language of the oppressor, whoever that is. Let's say somebody comes to you wherever you are, a different, more politically and militarily powerful country takes over your country and just comes to you and says, you can no longer be your identity. You can no longer speak your language. Now you have to learn our language. You have no choice. They take you away from your family. They send you to a school, and you don't know one word of their language. Imagine that. And then every time you try to say something, but it comes out in your native language, you get hit by the teacher or whatever official at the school. You're punished for it. Severely punished for it. Imagine that. Your native language, your mother language, the only language that you know. It has medicine, it has a music, certain words when you hear them or when you say them, they make you feel certain special things, certain emotions that are really powerful in a very nice way. Like when you say, it's nice to see you in Lakota, Lila tayan wa chianke. And this is all you've known. This is all you've heard. This is all you've spoken. This is all you've felt. This is all you thought about. And it affects you spiritually and physically. And you have all of this. And suddenly you're told this is a language from the devil. That this comes from Satan. That this is an evil language, and that your ways, because they do not agree with the Bible, that your ways are evil, that you are a heathen, you are a savage, that you are doomed, and that they are the only ones who can save you. And to do that, you have to learn their language and totally forget everything that you've known, which in reality is medicine to you. And they're telling you, this is not good. This is bad. And now they take you away from your family and take you to a school. And anytime you talk about things that are from your tribe, or you say one word that is from your tribal language, then you're basically tortured for that. Imagine that. Your identity is totally being stomped on. And you are forced to learn this new thing, this new language. And in this new language, one of the things it teaches is to pursue things so that you are better than others. It's starting to put you in competition that's very unhealthy with your fellow tribal members. It's affecting everything. Your native language, your spirituality is all described as being evil. It's bad. And all these experiences that you've had in your life with your family, with your partner, with your best friends, that all those nice experiences that when they happened, they were in your tribal language, in which all these wonderful things happened. And now somebody is telling you this is bad, this is evil. And you can no longer speak that language. The language that you knew as a language of love. And now you can no longer speak that language. And this is part of your identity. But now you're not able to speak that language. They're telling you you cannot do it. So as you're learning the other language, English, you're forced to learn it. And people are saying that this is going to make you a better person. This could really mess you up. It could really mess you up mentally and emotionally. And as I said earlier, the physical part and the mental part and the emotional part and the spiritual part, those are all connected to each other. So if you become messed up in the emotional and mental part, the other parts are going to get messed up eventually too. Just imagine, you can no longer eat the healthy foods that your people have eaten for thousands of years. And everything is changing so fast. You can no longer eat those healthy foods, so you become physically sick. You can no longer speak your language, so you become emotionally sick. You can no longer do your ceremonies, you become spiritually sick. This is going to do something to your mind. It's going to make it weak. And then your identity, what is it? What is your identity now? If you don't have your language, you don't have your ceremonies, what is your identity now? Imagine this. Imagine this happening to you. I'm going to leave this as an open question for you. Take the time to think about that. That's what this day did to Native peoples all over America. But don't use this as the foundation for an argument to hate white people or to hate the government or to hate the churches. You gotta look at it like this. Since 1998, it's legal to speak your language. As I'm making this recording, it is the year 2023. How many years has that been since 1978? So it's been 45 years since 1978. We should be speaking our languages again. There is no excuse for you to not learn your language if you are a native person. You've had 45 years. So think about that too. Yeah? Think about that too. And think about learning your language. It's never too late to learn anything. As long as you're learning, you're living. And as long as you're doing that, you're on the road of love. This is the truth. This is love. So learn your language. 45 years has gone by since 1978. Don't let another one go by without learning your language. Just start. Start now. Learn to say hello. Learn to say it's good to see you. Learn to say I will see you again. In Lakota, to say it's nice to see you, women say Lila tayan wa chianke. Men would say Lila tayan wa chianke lo. To say I will see you again, women say Doksha ake wa chiankinkte. Men would say Doksha ake wa chiankinkte lo. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this video. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to send a special thanks in support of this channel, look at the bottom of this video where the title is, and right under that, where it says like, dislike, and share, right in that area, slide it towards the left, and you will see the symbols change, and then you will see a heart-shaped button that says thanks on it. If you would like to click on there to send your thanks of support, I would really appreciate it, as I really do enjoy making these videos and speaking with you and spending some time with you. So again, thank you very much for listening. To learn more about Lakota spirituality, I have written a book called Wichocha Otechike. This book also includes Lakota star knowledge information. All the videos that I make, which are about Lakota spirituality, Lakota star knowledge, and cultural information, are based on this book. This book costs 99 American dollars. This price includes the shipping cost as well as a tracking number. And to learn more about Lakota language, I have written a Lakota language book called Chante Etanha Owoglake, Speaking from the Heart. And all my Lakota language videos are based on this book. This book costs 119 American dollars. This price includes the shipping cost as well as a tracking number. I also teach online, and I give spiritual consultations as well. If you are interested in any of my services and products, you can send payment via PayPal to my email address, which is hehaka7@yahoo.com. That's HEHAKA, the number 7@yahoo.com. When you send your payment, please include your shipping address and your email address. Lila Pilamayelo. Thank you very much. In the Lakota way, everything is circular. As a result, we do not have a word for goodbye in the Lakota language. And so instead we say until next time, which in Lakota is Doksha Ake. And I will catch you in the next video.